Today on The Prime Ingredient, we're a little bit sweet and a lot of bit spicy. We're making chicken wings today, featuring the prime ingredient, honey. Okay, so I am often made fun of by my family because everywhere we go in the United States, I happen to purchase honey. I love local honey because it's just so regional and it's very specific to the area that we're visiting, and it lasts a little while when we get home, and it just has a nice memory ring to it when I get back. But today I am using a local honey right here from Southern California. I met Harry, the honey guy, in my local market, my Middle Eastern market that I go to often, and there was this delightfully packaged Lily honey in the aisle, and I saw that they had buckwheat honey and avocado honey and lavender honey, and I'm sure you know that the bees pollinate in different areas, but if you have a really expert beekeeper, they can really guide the bees into where they want to pollinate, and then they create really very different flavors of honey. So I have a buckwheat honey today, which is what I'm featuring for my chicken wings today. We're making hot, spicy, and sweet chicken wings, and I'm going to show you how to make them from scratch. They're a favorite in my house, and so I thought I'd share the recipe with you. Okay, so we are starting with apple cider vinegar, which is always key to a nice ketchup. If you want to make your own ketchup or barbecue sauce, it's always really good to have a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And then I have some grapeseed oil. You can use a vegetable oil if you want to, but I do love grapeseed, and that's kind of like my go-to everyday oil. In addition to olive oil, you know, Middle Eastern, gotta use olive oil, but not for this. I don't want the flavor. We're going to do Worcestershire sauce, and say that 3 times fast. And there's about two tablespoons of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some chili powder. And chili powder is going to give it a nice rich flavor. It's going to deepen the flavor of what's coming next, which is a lot of red pepper flakes. Now, caution, if you are not a spicy kind of person, cut the red pepper flake portion in half. Right now what I'm doing is a teaspoon, but if you wanted to do half a teaspoon or even just a pinch, go for it, and then it just won't be spicy wings, it'll be honey-ish spicy. So do what you need to do. And I'm also adding some paprika and some salt and pepper, of course. Bring all the flavors together, and then we're going to whisk this together. The honey is going to come later. I need to marinate the chicken wings first in this sauce for up to overnight, 8 hours, but don't skimp on the marinating. The longer you go, the better, okay? We're using chicken drumettes and the wings, okay? If you like one part over the other, that's fine. And let's say you don't like chicken wings at all. You can use this on chicken legs, chicken breasts, chicken thighs, whatever you want to do. It's really good. So we're going to add to this blended chicken here our sauce, but we're going to reserve about a half a cup because that half a cup is going to be glazed about 3/4 of the way through of the baking process, and then it's also going to be tossed in it after, okay? So we're going to reserve a little bit of this. So let's just, yeah, that's about a half a cup, okay? And then you're going to just mix all these together and cover it up and put it in the refrigerator. Again, up to 8 hours overnight would be preferred, but you really want to get the sauce really marinated within the chicken wings, okay? Chicken wings are delicious, but by themselves, you know, without any of those really rich flavors and the layers of flavors, they can be a little bit boring. So let's elevate it here by marinating these wings. And then I'm going to bake these in the oven at 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes. About the 30-minute mark, I'm going to add the glaze, okay? And now what we're going to make is the glaze, or the sauce, that's going to go on the chicken wings 3/4 of the way through of baking, and also to be tossed in after. So this is my honey, and this is the buckwheat honey. What I've done is I've sprayed the bowl a little bit with canola oil spray, and then I've poured the honey in there so it'll come out easier. I'll show you. It'll just kind of slip right out like that. And what I'm doing is now getting that sweet, spicy blend here for the chicken wings, and we're gonna just keep on whisking until the honey dissolves within the apple cider vinegar sauce that we've made, and it's going to provide a beautiful sweetness. It's going to kind of calm the heat down, okay? So let's whisk this all together. We're gonna set it aside. We're gonna baste it a little bit on the chicken wings and then toss it with the chicken wings when they're done, okay? Join me, and I'm gonna make a delicious sauce when we come back. Of course, featuring the prime ingredient, honey. Look at these chicken wings. Oh my good golly. There's a little bit of caramelization from the honey that we basted on top of the chicken wings about 3/4 of the way through. You want to make sure that you let it cook most of the way through, like a good 80 to 85% all the way through before you baste, because you don't want to burn the tops of your chicken wings with the sugar that's from the honey. So that's why I wait a little bit longer. Okay, so we're gonna do it one final toss in with the sauce that we have left over. Then we're going to make a honey mustard dipper that you're just going to love. We're using the prime ingredient, and let me tell you, one ingredient can make a difference. Okay, so when you're looking for honey, we usually get the one in the Bear, which is great. I love the Bear, and it's usually a wildflower or an orange honey, but search a little bit for those specialty honeys because it will make a difference, and you can use it on your cheese boards, your charcuterie platters. You can use it instead of the typical Bear, but it's really good to experiment with the different types of honeys, and you can find a flavor that you love. Like, for example, I love avocado honey. It's almost like blackstrap molasses. It's really, really thick and rich. But I don't use it a lot in cooking because it tends to caramelize faster, and so it might get a burnt a little bit more on the tannin kind of flavor. So I use it fresh. Okay, so for this recipe we used a buckwheat honey, which is very mild flavored honey, and it's great for some of your savory recipes. Lavender honey, oh my gosh, if you're gonna have that high tea and you wanna put honey next to those scones, do a lavender honey. But experiment, go out and find yourself some local honey and give it a shot. Okay, so I'm just gonna toss these around a little bit remainder of this basting, and because you waited a while to baste your chicken at about 80% of the way through, you can still use it as a tossing. It's totally fine. Don't worry about that. So we're gonna plate these. Let me just scoot that over, and I'm going to make the dipping sauce for you next. You can smell. Can you smell that? Who needs Tabasco sauce? Really? Make the prime ingredient sauce. Okay, so I left a little spot here for our sauce, and let me just tell you, this is super, super simple. We're using the same buckwheat honey, which is in here, that I used for the chicken wings. And then we're going to add, you remember my other prime ingredient, the Maille Dijon mustard? We're going to add about a tablespoon of that into the honey, and we're gonna blend that all together. And then we're going to use my special prime ingredient herb and spice blend. I make this myself. It's featuring Elena's Italian oregano. And for those of you that purchased the charcuterie board during the holidays, received a little sample, and I hope that you tried it in some of your recipes at home. But I'm gonna put just a little pinch of my spice in there too. It'll just elevate that flavor, and it's all about layering these flavors. Something simple like a chicken wing doesn't have to taste simple. You just get that one prime ingredient and it will make a delicious difference in your flavors. Okay, so here we have it. It's that simple. Dijon honey mustard for your spicy, and sweet chicken wings. And that's it for today at the Prime Ingredient. Remember, go seek out some delicious honey, and we'll see you next time.